Welcome to the Passive Income MD podcast, where we talk about creating your ideal life through multiple streams of income. I'm your host, Peter Kim. If you enjoy hearing about this stuff, make sure to hit subscribe so I can bring it to you every week. Now let's get on with the show.
Hey everyone, hope you're having another great week. It's been an amazing week of a lot of learning, a lot of different things. We launched our Passive Real Estate Academy. Our conference at PIMD Con recently ended. We've got another conference or a little mastermind event coming up called the Leverage Growth Accelerator Live. And so many cool things are happening where we get to interact with the community, people who are listening to this. And so I want to thank you for being part of this. So many of you have left like amazing reviews online, and that really helps us, at least in terms of reaching people. If you know someone else that might benefit from this, please let them know, because we love watching this audience grow and this community grow. And we're doing whatever we can to support you wherever you need it. So this week, we're going to be going over a certain question that popped up in my mind, maybe something that came up when I talked to somebody else, and we're just going to talk through this idea. Here's this question. If you're saving for retirement, would you rather undershoot or overshoot your goal? I told this story of how I was at Harry Potter World, of all places. That's in Universal Studios here in LA. Cool thing is, since we're in LA, we have so many really cool places to go in terms of amusement parks. I think my kids are quite spoiled as a result, but why not take advantage of it? Well, we were there with a friend, and we were just sitting there talking over lunch. And, we talk about life and, amongst our families. And she said that she's almost to her nest egg goal, and that in a few short years, she and her husband could start thinking about cutting back from work. They said in a few years. And so I just asked her, like I typically, tend to do. I say, why not just cut back right now if you're close? And for her, I remember her looking and thinking about it. And she said, well, she didn't want to fall short of her goal. If she cut back, maybe she wouldn't get there, or it would take her longer to get there. And I said, well, what if you knew and you were absolutely sure that you'd reach your goal, even if you cut back? And she said, oh, that'd be simple. Then I would cut back immediately. So we got into this discussion, like, what's worse? Like possibly undershooting your goal and maybe having it delayed a bit and having time with your family now while you're healthy, they're young, you're able to do that? Or it's like worse to overshoot your goal and find out later on that you wasted years, 5-10 years of working full time when you didn't have to, where you could have just enjoyed your life more, and you're going to never get that time back. And I thought about it, and that's a question I pose for everyone listening to this. Like, what's worse? Undershoot your goal, maybe work a little bit longer, but have that time now with your family or whatever you want to do, or overshoot your goal and then find out you wasted a whole bunch of years maybe working when you didn't want to, those extra weekends, those extra nights that you didn't actually have to do, and you could have enjoyed your time more, and you find out you can never get that time back. Well, I think for me, it's an easy answer. For me, it'd be way worse to overshoot your goal, because I think in the other way, like if you undershoot a little bit, and like maybe you're not quite there yet, you can always work a little bit more. You can maybe even cut back a little bit on your expenses. There's more adjustments that you can make. If you have to create other ways of creating income, there's income streams that you can pick up. You can make that happen. On the other side, though, like once it's been done, once that time has been put in, once that effort has been put in, you can't get that time and your health back. That's why I talk a lot about this concept of gradual retirement, where you start cutting back slowly. I know a lot of people want to hurry up, make it happen real quick, and then make this huge cut, whether it's to full halftime, or whether it's like to completely retire and think about sitting on the beach. I don't think that's how necessarily we're wired. Meaning that I don't think a lot of us, maybe it sounds like it, but maybe it seems like it, but if you cut back to nothing, you get bored. And I think all of us still need that sense of purpose. We need the sense that we're doing something, that we're contributing something. So I would, again, take a guess that most of us listening to this, that there's a very happy place for us when it comes to our work and our life. And usually it's not at 100% or 110% in terms of work, where you're feeling it, and then usually it's not 0%, and it's somewhere in between. And that thing can change over time. And so what I believe is that if you start cutting back slowly, you have a better chance of finding that equilibrium spot, of finding that place where you're working optimally to still help you find your, get your goals, but you're still able to do all the things that you want to do. And you're going to find that spot. And for me, when I was working in OB anesthesia, sometimes I was working 10 to 12 nights at one point. It was really unsustainable, not good for my health, working a lot of nights, working a lot of weekends. I remember thinking, how would my life change if I just had one night shift or one weekend shift down? Like meaning that I removed one of those because I was able to create income from somewhere else, or honestly, I just decided not to do it altogether. And I remember thinking, that would be huge. That would completely change my life because that Saturday I could spend with my family, or that night I could actually have a good sleep so the next day I could enjoy and do these other things. And so that's what I started doing. When the income started to come in, and it was a scary moment, I started cutting back one night at a time. And I kept cutting back and kept reassessing. Okay, am I doing okay financially? Yeah, how am I doing health-wise as a result of this, good or bad? How am I feeling about this? How my life experience is going? And it turned out that, after one, I felt like, okay, that's amazing. My life actually changed quite a bit. But guess what? 2 would be better, and 3 would be better. And eventually I found this place where I was able to get rid of all my nights, but still I was working days, and I was just loving that place. And I felt like I was doing what I was meant to do in life, meaning in terms of my job, still felt good about it. I was still able to support my family fully financially. I was able to still pursue all these other things that I wanted. And that only happened because of gradual retirement. I didn't go and just drop off the face of the earth, or I try to work to the bone to get to a place where I could completely retire. I was able to do it in a sustainable way and course correct as I went. Now, I'm just going to tell you that most people that from this book that I read called Die with Zero, the thing that they've seen is that people tend to die at their peak net worth. And that's for most of us, especially high-income professionals. Meaning that you're going to die, or when you leave this earth, you're going to die with the most money or at least biggest net worth that you've ever had. Now, I don't know how that feels to you, and that's a good thing because there's safety in that, and it feels like you're going to pass it along. But how many of you would have had half of that net worth, but had so much more time in your prime years, when you're healthy, when you're young, and you're able to enjoy all of this? And I would, again, venture a guess that most of you would be happy to take a hit in your future net worth, like, at the time when you're old enough and, when you're old and you can't really even enjoy it anyways, to have that time today. And so that's something I want to have you think about. And hopefully this is something that will keep coming up in conversations. It's something I always think about is that, guess what? I'd probably rather undershoot a little bit. If I had to work a little bit more later, so be it. Who knows though? And nobody knows the future. Nobody knows how long you'll be here. Nobody knows how to look later with kids, colleges. Maybe they got scholarships. Maybe they do really well financially. They take care of you as parents. You don't even have to worry about a retirement. Who knows what will come? Obviously, you don't want to rely on all these things, and you want to be financially independent and smart and these kind of things. But to say like, this is my goal, I will work to the bone, get there, and I'd rather be over, and I'd rather give up all this time now. I actually think that in a lot of ways, that is taking the bigger risk. And that's what I believe when it comes to all this stuff about, retirement, time, money, course correct as you go, gradual retirement, figure it out, see how things work. Maybe you drop 3 nights, maybe that was too much. Maybe financially you need a little less. Just think about these things. Hopefully this is something that gives you thought this weekend or this week whenever you listen to this. I really appreciate this community. Continue to let us know what we can do to support you. Thank you so much. Let's talk again soon. Bye.
Enjoy the show? Let me know by dropping a review in the podcast app you're listening to us in. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit subscribe. Are you part of our community yet? Join thousands of physicians who are also on this journey to creating their ideal lives through multiple streams of income. You can join us on our Facebook group, Passive Income Docs, and you can always learn more at our website, passiveincomemd.com. Thanks again for allowing me to be a part of your journey. See you next time.